that's fine.
Just getting into Big Ten play, just where do you feel like the team is right now, and what do you think the biggest thing that you guys take away from non-conference?
We're still figuring some stuff out, and I thought we played a lot of nice volleyball this last weekend against two pretty formidable opponents, and unfortunately we fell on the wrong end of that, and we're still kind of in the space where we're getting to a place where we're getting some leads and we're getting up, but then with kind of the pressure's getting to us a little bit. So in some ways we got to get out of our own way and be able to take big swings when it matters and make passes and make serves and everything else that we go about in our game. So I'm pleased with the progress that we've made, but disappointed in some of the results that we've seen, because I think we deserve to win a couple of those matches, but the score says otherwise. So we still have to just come at it one day at a time, and we have more prep for opponents now, which I think is a great thing to have, and so we welcome Big Ten play here coming up.
I guess record-wise, kind of in the same spot as last year after non-conference play, does that put more pressure on Big Ten?
We talked yesterday after practice just about you always have to be good in the Big Ten, and even if you had a great pre-conference and you slip up in the Big Ten, you're going to be in trouble. And last year we didn't have that marquee win, so to speak, against the kind of the top 25 of the Big Ten, and so that really is going to hurt you come decision time for the tournament. So no matter what happens, you got to have a winning record in the Big Ten. You got to be able to hopefully get a couple big wins, and that kind of what makes you tournament worthy. And I know that NCAA knows that if you can come out, in the top 5 or so of conference, you're going to be in good shape heading into the tournament.
So I guess the Big Ten can maybe save you from an RPI standpoint if you get those.
Oh, I think so. If you get those RPI wins, you got several teams that are in the top 20, top 25, and it looks good on a resume. And so it's the RPI game is always a little bit funky because you don't know how the other teams you play are going to compete within their conferences. But as best as we know, it's if you do well in the Big Ten, you're gonna have a shot.
Yeah, so you said you're still figuring some things out. I mean, do you anticipate making any changes, going into Big Ten play? Or other changes you can make?
Yeah, I think right now we've only played with this lineup now for 4 sets or 4 matches, I guess, and so it's usually in pre-conference you have a lot more continuity within your lineup. Just kind of some of the injuries that we've had, it's been a little bit of a scramble to try to figure out who's just comfortability around each other, really, and that's some of the errors that we're seeing is just more some miscommunication, just some errors of them just getting used to playing around one another. And so when you have a lot of movement on the roster, you've got some issues with that. But now that we're kind of getting to a lineup, we're playing some good volleyball. We took a couple teams to 5 sets who were pretty good, and obviously we like to have a couple of those matches, but we're always going to have put the best on the floor that we can, and if someone can't get it done, we have to be comfortable making some changes. And we've seen, the benefit of seeing everyone is we've seen what everyone can do and seeing what some pros and cons of throwing some people out there are. So we're always going to put the best lineup we can out there, and go from there.
Got some players like Kennedy and Reyna who have been there, done that as far as conference play. Does that kind of experience, does that matter at this time of year, or does that permeate down to the rest of the team when you start getting to these Big Ten games?
Oh, absolutely, and you've got some players that have that type of experience, that have done it before. That's what helps build their confidence and help build the team confidence too. And they can bring the energy when they need to. They can be the source of calm when they need to. And have those two having done it for a while now, it's a big source of confidence for us and for the team.
I guess winning the first set doesn't mean you'll win the match, but I'm 6 of 10, you've dropped the first set. Is there something in early in matches where
you notice the same thing we do, Scott. Let me hire you on staff here. So
it'd be a pay raise if you got a spot.
No, it's for us, we talk about having urgency, what that looks like and feels like. And again, I think we get into matches and we're trying really hard to make the plays, and sometimes when you're trying too hard, you don't make them. And so it's finding that fine line of having that urgency, but not putting too much pressure on yourself, that you can go out there and compete and make plays. And with some of the non-conference play that we've had, you get a quick glance at them, so you don't maybe get a full look at how a team comes at you, and you're not used to a speed of certain team X or certain team Y, and so there is some settling that goes on in there. But from an execution standpoint, we have to execute better, and the team knows that. And they've been working hard on that the last few days.
You mentioned the 2 5-setters last week. Was there any common thread that didn't have you in the right spot at the end?
I just think, again, I go back to what I just said about the opening sets of some of those matches where you get to a spot where you are winning and you're up, and it's kind of the whole play to win versus play not to lose, and kind of just, again, feeling that pressure of you got to be able to start matches well, you got to be able to close them out well, you got to be able to play in the middle of the match well. And so again, we do have some experience on the roster, but we have some players in relatively new positions who are figuring out what this level looks like and what it feels like to be in those spots. And the best thing I tell them, it's like, at least you got to be there to have a chance, and we're there. We're a 5-setter in a couple matches. We're 2 points away from being a pretty good SC team who knocked off Purdue the night later. And again, you much rather be close and miss by a little bit than to be super far and talking about something else. And so we're getting closer and closer as we move along here, but we got to make sure we have that urgency from front to finish.
Jess is, I guess, fully integrated now. Just what difference have you seen just having her?
Yeah, she's always been a great teammate for us, and she always brings the energy. And when she gets a kill or makes a good play, you're going to know about it. And so I think that helps rally the rest of the team and gives the team confidence to be external as well. And so, it's been a nice surprise to have her back, and she's really added a lot to the gym in terms of being a great teammate and just having a great attitude towards everything.